Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ephraim and I speak about personal finance and career. And this is part 3 of work-life balance, a series that I started a while ago, and I broke it down into 3 because I felt like work-life balance is different for different people at the different stages of their career. The first category that I dealt with in part 1 was people that are job seekers, how to manage the stress of looking for a new job. And we talked about that. We gave strategies that you can implement to ensure that you're not overworking yourself in the process of searching for a job. And part 2, we talked about how to maintain work-life balance for people that are starting a new job, not necessarily their first job, but people that are transitioning as well into new roles, and how to ensure that you are able to still have a good work-life balance, even if it's not perfect. And in this part 3, we'll be looking at work-life balance tips for early career professionals. This is the key for anyone that is just starting out in their career and they want to have a good work-life balance. Before I go to the 3 tips that I will share, I would just like to say that for early career starters or career professionals, it is important that you understand that you cannot eat your cake and have it at the same time. Because you are just starting out, there's a lot you have to learn. Of course, you have the whole of your career to do that. But if you want to stand out in your career, you must be willing to pay a little more sacrifice than someone who has been on the job for many years. This is because you are going to be competing with a lot of people from different walks of life. I was discussing with someone recently and I told them that maybe in primary school, when they started out in their primary school, they're probably one of the best people. Then they moved to college or secondary school, and they discover that they are the best people from their primary school and other primary school are now with you. So you need to step up to be able to compete at that level. Maybe you're still able to manage and you came out as one of the best in secondary school. You moved to university. Now you have all the best from all of the schools around you or where you're applying to. They are now in the same class as yourself. So you need to also upgrade at that level to ensure that you compete properly. And what you do at that level is read more, study more, have people of the same mindset as yourself, people that will challenge you to do better. And that's how you get ahead in your life. And maybe you manage to also come out as one of the top people from your university. Then you start a job. As you're starting out a new job, you're going to see that the best in all the universities around you are now employed by your company. You now realize that you'd also need to step up again. So at every point in our life, there is a need for us to step up. And what you do now would contribute largely to what you get out of it, whether you'll be one of the best or you'll just be the regular people that are just performing and not anything extraordinary. So to move from the normal people, the just performing people, to people that are performing extra or exceedingly, you need to put in the hours, you need to put in more time. I just thought to say that because a lot of new starters only think about work-life balance. I want to have fun and I want to work. It doesn't usually work that way. You have to, what you put in is what you get. I've seen this over time. I have more than a decade of experience as a career professional. So I've seen a lot of people that come in and want to have work-life balance. What they mean by that is I want to have fun and I want to work. Of course, we're not saying don't have fun, but you need to ensure that you are prioritizing what you need to prioritize at this stage of your career and not necessarily fun, even though fun is important. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't have time offs or time for other activities. It's just ensuring that You're putting the required time you need to be one of the best now that you're here where you're competing with a lot of people. So I'm going to be sharing 3 strategies that you can adopt as an early career professional that want to have a perfect work-life balance. Number 1 is setting clear boundaries between work and personal life. There are some offices you go or that you are in, you find that if you are always available, people will throw things at you. So you must be able to set clear boundaries. You don't want people calling you at 9 p.m. to do stuff when you're supposed to probably be getting ready for bed or for the next day to do a particular job. It might happen that it happens like that once in a while, but it shouldn't be often. But if you set clear boundaries to say, I have things I need to do from this time to so time, I need to prepare for the next day, people understand those boundaries and they adhere to them. Is when you don't set boundaries, that's when people can ask you to do stuff even when it is outside work time. Number 2 is prioritizing time for self-care, relationship, and personal interest. The fact that you're now a career professional doesn't mean that you shouldn't take care of yourself, you shouldn't have relationships outside work, or if you have personal interests that are important to you that you shouldn't do them. You need to create time for them. And that's also an extension of the first point that I mentioned about having time for yourself that is different from time for work. So if you have football to play on Tuesday evening after work, you need to make that clear and you need to make time for it. Let people know that this is what you need to do at this particular time and they will respect your time. And the final one is learning to manage technology use outside of work hours. This one is very key. The most of, well, if not all of the jobs I've gotten since I left university, they give you, maybe not one, except one, all except one. They give you a phone that you can use to have work emails in them. So you take them home, you can still use them. And if you are in the habit of always putting on those phones, even when you are not working, then people can always reach you to ask you to do things. Or if you're always online and people see that you're online, because some people like to work late and that might not be your style. But if you have those technologies and you're always online, people would have something for you to do. So it's best to manage the use of those technologies. You don't have to give anyone your personal phone except it's an emergency. And since you have an office phone, you can always give them that one. And once you want to switch it off, it's off. Then do that so that you are setting boundaries. Personal time is personal time and shouldn't be mixed with office time. So these are very important for new career starter, for young professionals that are just starting out in their career. It's very important that you have this at the back of your mind, that you need to also have time for personal stuff and not only work stuff. So I'll just do a recap of the 3 things that we have talked about, or 3 strategies that you can adopt, apart from the fact that prioritizing work at this stage of your early career is more important than fun. One thing you need to do is set boundaries between work and personal life. 2 is prioritizing time for self-care, relationship, and interests. All the things that are important to you, you need to set time for it. And ensure that if you need to communicate those times, that you communicate them to the right people so they don't interfere into all those time. And lastly, learn to manage the use of technology outside work. If you are leaving the office and you have an office phone, it's probably better to switch it off because the end of the day's job, otherwise you get bothered with job. I hope you found all of these 3 parts useful, whatever categories you might be. If you're a job seeker, if you just change jobs, and if you are an early career professional. Until next time, I'll see you in my next video. I've written a book on overcoming the overwhelm. It's a free book. So if you need a copy of that book, just comment on this video. I'll send you that. I'll send you, if you just comment on the video, and we'll send you a DM to get your email and send you the free ebook Overcoming Overwhelm. It's a free book, and it's really powerful book that you love to read. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye now.